Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about Iran again. The reason is because there's obviously an escalation taking place right now, being led by the US against Iran. Now, there's two news stories that I want to point out here. The first one, these both come from RT, but of course, this is news that's also in the Western media as well. Reheated propaganda, Pompeo's speech claiming al-Qaeda has home base in Iran roasted as absurd pretext for conflict. And of course, it's exactly that. Anyone who has been even slightly following what has been going on in Syria and in Iraq knows that Iran has been fighting al-Qaeda and the Islamic State pretty much all across the region. As a matter of fact, they are key to defeating al-Qaeda and ISIS in Syria, in Iraq. Even the US has admitted this from time to time, albeit reluctantly. Now, if we go through this article, you're going to see, the claims are completely baseless. There's no evidence provided, which is, what the US always does when it's fishing for a pretext for an illegal war. But then you also have a lot of commentators trying to figure out what's behind this. And they're noting that the mainstream media is kind of downplaying this, even admitting that Pompeo has no evidence. And they're citing that as sort of evidence that maybe this is just some partisan ploy. It's really not connected to ongoing U.S. foreign policy. But I'm not so sure about that, because the next article that I want to point out, also from RT, Facebook reinstates Press TV page with 4 million subscribers hours after mysterious final deletion. Now, this is about Press TV, which is Iranian state media, and it's an English language channel. It's kind of their effort to reach out to international audiences and tell their side of the story. So, of course, you always have to keep in mind that it's from Iran's point of view. But then remember, all Western media that you see is from the West's point of view. So it provides some balance, at the very least. Whatever you want to think about Press TV, it's providing some balance to the dialogue, to the narrative. So Facebook deleted Press TV's Facebook page. And they've been doing this for quite a while to everybody, to Russian state media, Chinese state media. New Eastern Outlook had their Facebook page deleted, had their YouTube channel deleted, had their Twitter accounts deleted. This is not something new that's happening just because of Trump. Like I said, Trump is the latest pretext that they're going to use to just continue censoring anyone, anywhere who disagrees in any way with the West's narratives and with the West's agenda, basically. So even though Facebook reinstated Press TV, it was kind of strange that the timing of it being deleted was right as this escalation is happening, and right after Pompeo, right around the same time Pompeo claimed that Iran is harboring al-Qaeda terrorists, which by the way is the pretext that they used to invade Afghanistan. And of course, bin Laden, supposedly dead for years now. When the U.S. claimed they killed him, they claimed they killed him in Pakistan. He wasn't even in Afghanistan. So what did the U.S. do in Afghanistan for 20 years, and why are they still there? These are a lot of questions people should ask if they're still, for some reason, buying into the war on terror narrative and any excuse at all that the U.S. uses to fight wars overseas. So I wanted to point both of these stories out, and the reason why is because I really do think that this is a ramp up to war with Iran. I think the establishment, the deep state, if you want to call it that, just these giant unelected corporate financier interests that actually drive U.S. foreign and domestic policy, they want to remove the Iranian government. They want to remove Iran as an obstacle, as an opponent from the Middle East, so that the U.S. can reassert itself over the region. They're doing a similar strategy here in Asia as well. And so I think they're creating additional pretexts. That's what they're doing with this claim that al-Qaeda is somehow based in Iran. And even though some people think that it may be partisan politics, the fact that Facebook is kind of coordinating its efforts with the U.S. State Department, with the U.S. Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, kind of suggests that this is not just partisan politics. This is part of a wider strategy to lock in the strategy to create a narrative for Biden when he comes into office, to try to explain why he's going to just continue aggression towards Iran and not return to the deal like he claimed he was going to do when he campaigned. And this is American politics. This is how it always works. From Bush to Obama to Trump and now to Biden, they have all kinds of clever excuses as to why the incoming president has to continue all of these highly unpopular policies. So this is going to continue under Biden, and then it's going to continue with whoever comes after him. So keep an eye on this. This crisis between the U.S. and Iran, this aggression being led by the U.S. against Iran, this is a potential hotspot that we have to keep an eye on, and I'm going to keep an eye on it, and I'm going to continue making videos about this topic as these events pop up. So that's the video for today. To my Patreon patrons who make these videos possible, thank you very much. To everyone everywhere helping in every way, thank you so much. I couldn't do any of this without my audience. And as always, thank you for watching.